Okay, Dave in Texas here, and as usual, when I'm trying to record one of these things, such as taking this thing apart, the video screws up. So, what I've done, I've gone through and cut all these new strings off since I'm going to be doing so much work. I normally keep the strings as I work on these things. I just unwind them and set them aside. But anyway, I took off the bridge and the tailpiece. I pushed these through very easily, right? The really cheap, lightweight potentiometers, as well as the very crummy caps I got on here. They're just tiny. Let's see what numbers these are. I think they're 47s. They may be. Yeah, I think they're 47s. Anyway, what's amazing to me is when I opened this up the first time I looked at it, the thickness of this wiring that they have in here. Let's try and get a gauge on this. I was amazed at the gauge of this wiring. It's 2.41 millimeters, and normally it's like really thin, like 28 gauge, 30 gauge wiring. But they went to some effort to make this a lot better wiring on this guitar. Also, the parts, if you, I know you can't see this, but this is an actual Epiphone connector three-way, and it's a very nice one, very new. Odd to see. A few nasty things in there. Again, the secondary wood, it is mahogany. Inside that chamber, I took the flashlight and flashed it through here, and the only chamber part out's right here. The rest is all solid. Of course, right here, up through this cavity here, to the three-way, it's hauled out too. So you have this part here, which is not very wide, channel running through it, same as here. And again, not very wide to get this thing in here. Now, these came out readily. And as you can see, the wiring is excellent. So I may just simply take the soldering iron and melt off these bad potentiometers, put on good ones in caps. But I'm a little confused about the wiring on this. If I'm not mistaken, most of these have separate wirings, like such was the ground wire that has to be in there somewhere from the bridge back inside the guitar, and I don't see that. It's got to be here somewhere. It's got to be this wire here. It's got to be the ground wire from the bridge's blue one, but it's not connected to the connector, the guitar jack connector. No ground to this. That's odd, in my opinion. I'm sure it's done something. Well, no, it's not. This goes right to the three-way, and it's not grounded unless it's semi-grounded on the three-way somehow. I don't see how they did this, but anyway. Also, that's odd. If you look at this, they're single-wired potentiometers. There's no cross wiring between these, as you see on a lot of wiring diagrams for a humbucker and a Les Pauls. You'll see the 2 of the 3 potentiometers wired together, cross connections, as well as on the connectors for the potentiometers. So, of course, it makes it much easier to get these things in and out, and it does play that way. So, there are many ways a Les Paul can be wired. So what I've done, in essence, I've taken this thing apart, cut the strings off of it, taken off the pickups. They're Epiphones. I'm going to POTT those since they're microphonic. I'll show you how to do that as well. Now, also, I was going to replace the nut. You can't see it up here, but typically and traditionally, the nut for all Gibson Les Pauls, bar none, is 1.695 inches, and that's exactly what this is. But it's been cut too deep, and it's been cut on too much of a slant down towards the high E, for my opinion, and my playing. So I go back to replace it, and everything I've seen for the Les Paul from Guitar Center and Shop, they're too long. They're 1.79 instead of 1.69. And it's like, damn. and they're pre-cut, which I don't want. I want to cut them myself this time. Simply because I'll use the gauge strings I want to use on it, and I want to set up so that 50% of that string is still outside of that nut and not buried inside that nut to deaden the string and to cut down on its sustain efforts while I'm playing it. So, what I may do is just get a solid piece of nut and shape it myself, cut it myself, and go from there. If I find one at the guitar shop. A lot of times you don't have those; they're all pre-cut. It looks like. But I want to replace today the end connector, the potentiometers, the caps. We'll get orange drops. The three-way, may leave that and pot the PUPs. Put it all back together again and see how it plays, how it sounds. I don't know what to do about that nut. I mean, if I find one there, I'll replace the nut too. And show you how to reassemble this, bringing these parts back through. Starting with the first one with strings. They'll string through the part and bring it back through the holes that they have for them, and bring them up through the holes to reconnect them, right? As well as, I'm pretty sure since these are full-size potentiometers, there won't be a problem getting these inside these holes that are already cut out. Anyway, any questions, give me a holler. Dave in Texas. Have a good one. Bye.